They never showed. Not for the ceremony. Not for the speech. Not for the moment I'd poured 16 years into. But they did. Managed to upload a photo of my sister in a silk robe, raising a mimosa like she'd cured cancer. I said nothing. Not even as. I sat alone, surrounded by parents crying over kids who scraped by. Not even as I held the gold-edged card stamped valedictorian in elegant script. I sat there, smiling politely, nodding at teachers, thanking the counselor who believed in me more than my own mother ever had. But when they called my name, when I stepped up to the mic, lights in, my eyes, the gym erupting in applause, I locked eyes with the livestream camera and said, to everyone who couldn't make it today, this is for you. And I meant every word. 2 hours later, my sister was in the parking lot sobbing, mascara streaked down her face like spilled ink. Maybe she finally realized where she lived. But she wasn't the one I wanted to wound. The silence at home wasn't loud. It was precise, sterile, a surgeon's scalpel. I grew up in a house where love was measured out and attention was a currency. My success only mattered if it fit into Christmas letters or brunch gossip. But this time felt intentional. 2 weeks before graduation, I asked if they'd be there. My dad didn't even glance up from his phone. We've just been so exhausted lately. Work's been chaos. You get it, right? My mom jumped in too fast. And your sister's been so anxious. We booked her a spa. She needs rest. And me. I guess I didn't need anything. That night, I sat on the edge of my bed, gripping the sheets like I could strangle the ache out of my chest. But no tears came, just a muted, numbing weight behind my eyes, like my soul was flicking off lights one by one. The night after graduation, I didn't go home. I picked up my duffel bag and kept walking past the school, past the gas station where I used to study under flickering bulbs to drown out their screaming, past the bridge over Old Miller's Creek where other lost kids got high and forgot their families. I got on a Greyhound. No destination, just movement. I needed distance from the girl whose parents skipped her big day for a spa package. The motel in Wisconsin was forgettable. Faded wallpaper, damp carpets, a vending machine that spat out stale candy if you smacked it right. But it was quiet. And, after everything, quiet felt like salvation. I took the night shift at the front desk. Minimum wage. No questions. No spotlights. People assumed I was running from something. I let them. Sometimes I imagined I was someone else, not the overachiever craving approval, but just a girl. Unremarkable. I learned how to bleach clean toilets and fold towels into perfect swans. There was something sacred in the repetition, in doing work no one clapped for. I kept a journal, not because I thought anyone would read it, but because the words had to go somewhere or they'd drown me. After 6 months, I enrolled in community college upstate, night classes, psychology, literature, trauma studies. My advisor once asked, why those? I said, because I need to understand how people survive being unseen. He just nodded like he knew the answer. I started tutoring ESL students, kids, from countries I couldn't pronounce. For the first time, I felt needed. Not as a trophy, not as proof, just needed. One boy named Ellen folded a note in 4 languages. It said, you make me brave. I cried in the stairwell for 20 minutes. Not from pain, but because for the first time, I believed I was more than a resume wrapped in shame. I didn't speak to my family for 2 years. They left voicemails, sent messages. My mom texted dinner photos, captioned, wish you were here. My dad emailed job openings like I was his project. I ignored them until my sister emailed. No subject, just one sentence. I didn't know it would hurt you that much. I'm sorry. Still, I said nothing. Not because I didn't believe her, but because I wasn't ready to write them a redemption chapter in my story. Last week, I graduated again. Different campus, different city. No cheers louder than Elaine's family. After the ceremony, I sat under a willow tree, breathed deep. As the wind lifted my robe, I remembered what it felt like to ache for someone Anyone to say they were proud. No speeches. No cameras. No applause. Just me. And that was finally enough. You want to know the twist? The one they missed entirely? It wasn't the mic drop. It wasn't the sobbing sister or the gold chords or the silent goodbye. It was this moment, the soft, steady one, where I no longer needed their claps to know I mattered, where peace didn't come with fireworks but with stillness, where the invisible girl turned into a mirror for others trying to find their reflection. So if you're reading this and you've ever sat in a crowd wondering why your people didn't show up for you on the day it mattered most, just know this. They missed the best part. You.